Well, hello there, how is everyone? I hope you're all well, you amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. We've got a couple of things to talk about today. And first is going to be, just if you want to help me help people who are homeless at Christmas, there is a link in the pinned comment down below. Go head over and help me out, only if you can. But let's get straight into this, because a lot of you had reached out to me referencing Charlie Kirk's sister. Now, I see a lot of people in the comments who are claiming that these videos are clickbait because Charlie Kirk didn't have a sister. It seems that Charlie Kirk did have a sister. He had a sister who is Mary, who was younger than him. And this is what we're going to talk about. First of all, what I'm going to say is the videos that people are sending to me, which are seemingly suggesting that Mary had claimed that Erica Kirk had been taken over TP USA prior to Charlie's death. She was seemingly, and again, this is what's being said, she was seemingly doing things that you wouldn't expect her to be doing, taking phone calls, dealing with things, and if Charlie would say anything, she would kind of disregard what he was saying, these sort of things. But when I looked into the videos, and the reason why I'm not going to show you them if you haven't seen them, is because the voiceovers are not female, they're male for a start, and there just doesn't seem to be any real credibility to them. And we know that Charlie's family are remaining quite quiet. They're not really saying anything. Now, I am just going to show you a little bit more about Charlie's sister for those who didn't realise that Charlie did have a sister. And what we're also going to do is just look at something that apparently she had said, and it was actually at Charlie's funeral. And at the end of this video, I also just want to show you a document quickly, because I'd spoken about it briefly and mentioned it, about the destruction of evidence against Tyler Robinson. And I just want to clarify what is going on in that situation, if that makes sense. So let's first of all dig into this. So who is Charlie Kirk's secret sister? And I think they mean secret by the fact that there isn't really a lot about her. You know, she stays out of the limelight. She's a business owner, and she doesn't really do the online thing. But so it says, meet 29-year-old left-wing Bernie Sanders fan. Charlie Kirk's founder of Turning Point USA had a younger sister, Mary, who diverged politically from him. It says Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, had long been seen as an only child. However, he is not. According to Daily Mail, I know that you can't really trust what Daily Mail says, which is probably going to feed into a lot of people saying Charlie Kirk didn't have a sister. From what I've seen and what research I have done from various different sources, it doesn't seem that the photographs I have and the information I have are AI, but who knows? Who actually knows what you can trust? But it says Mary Kirk, who has kept a low profile. Growing up in the Democratic left-leaning suburbs of Chicago, she once shared her brother's Republican enthusiasm, but then took a sharp left. In 2011, Mary was even a member of the Wheeling, Illinois Young. It says she first supported Kirk and was in tandem with his ideologies until she met Bernie Sanders when he began his first presidential campaign in 2015. Charlie Kirk's sister is a Bernie Sanders fan. A 29-year-old who uses an alias on Facebook posted a photo grinning and shaking hands with Sanders on social media as she shook hands with him for a second time in 2016. Mary captioned the photo, #TBT, to when I met Bernie a year ago and had no idea who he was, and now he is the light of my life, as per the Daily Mail. Later that year, she posted a photo of him at the podium facing a small bird who sat on a lectern on a campaign trail. Mary wrote, "I was the bird." So it says Mary graduated from the University of Illinois at Chicago in 2019 with a degree in art history, criticism, and conservation. She works as a gallery assistant while also running her own art consulting business, Kick Art Services. as per Daily Mail. Mary's social media subtly reflects her political divergence from her brother. Among her posts are some left-leaning images that aligned more with Charlie's opponents, including one image that showed a woman grimacing at a woman. In the caption, she wrote, "Mood towards patriarchy." A few months ago, she also urged people support Whitney Plantation, which is a New Orleans museum that educates people about the history and legacies of slavery in the US. However, its funding was revoked by the Trump administration. Charlie's close pals remained tight-lipped about Mary's left-leaning ideology, but most assured that it had not resulted in any rift in the family. Mike Miller, a suburban Chicago jeweler who played a key role in Turning Point USA's early growth with a $50,000 donation in 2014 and is now a member of 2P USA's board of directors. Miller told Daily Mail, "Mary was a devoted sister to Charlie. Her politics are her business." Another friend told the news outlet their family was no different than a lot of families these days. The friend added, "Charlie went one way, Mary ended up going another." The parents are pretty moderate conservatives. Kirk was born to Robert Kirk, an architect who was actually involved in the building of Trump Tower, if you didn't know, and Catherine Kirk, a mental health counselor. So if we just go over to here, we'll look at the heartbreaking confession of Charlie Kirk's sister. And it says, just revealed a painful truth at a brother's funeral, a story that left everyone in stunned silence. The chapel was filled to the brim. The air was heavy with the smell of white roses and rain. That kind of rain that seems to fall only during funerals, soft but endless. I'm not sure if Howard Bloomberg wrote this. The crowd that gathered wasn't just a crowd, it was a nation's worth of broken hearts. Students, veterans, pastors, politicians, and friends. People from every corner of the country came to say goodbye to the man who had built a movement, inspired millions, and never once backed down from his beliefs, Charlie Kirk. And then, when the speeches ended and the music faded, his sister Mary Kirk stepped up to the podium, her voice trembling, her hands clutching a single folded paper. No one knew what she was about to say. No one was ready for what came next. This does sound like a Howard Blumberbus book, doesn't it? It's probably fake, but let's go with it. Her first words were quiet. "I've waited my whole life to say this," she began, "but I never wanted to say it here." The crowd leaned in. The rain tapped against the stained glass windows like a heartbeat. Like a heartbeat. Had to slip that in there. "Charlie was my brother, but for a long time I didn't treat him like one." I'm not going to read these bits. "People saw the confident, fiery leader on stage, but they didn't see the long nights, the arguments, the pain behind our family's silence. For years I was angry with him, angry because his dream took him away from us. He'd miss birthdays, he'd forget anniversaries. Sometimes weeks went by without a call. I thought he didn't care. I thought he chose the world over family. But I was wrong." And it says here, a few nights before the funeral, while helping her mother sort through Charlie's belongings, Mary found something she wasn't supposed to see. A letter tucked inside his worn leather Bible. The envelope was sealed with his handwriting, "To Mary, if I never get to tell you this." Well, I'd say that she was supposed to see it, not that she wasn't. She opened it. The letter was simple, handwritten in blue ink, the edges smudged from what looked like coffee stains. Of course it was coffee stains, just like in the books. "Dear Mary, I know you've been angry with me, and maybe you have every right to be. I've missed too many dinners, too many holidays, too many moments. But every speech I gave, every mile I travelled, every time I stayed up till 3 a.m. writing or planning, I did it with one thought in mind. I wanted to make this country a place where your kids and mine could still believe in something good. I never chose the world over family. I was fighting for the family, ours, and everyone else's. If I ever failed you, forgive me. But know that every word I spoke, I carried your name in my heart. Mary lowered the letter, tears streaming down her face. I spent years resenting a man I didn't understand. I told friends he'd forgotten us, that he was too proud, too busy, too obsessed with being right. But now I realise he was trying to protect what we all forgot how to see. He wasn't building fame, he was building faith. She continued. Charlie and I hadn't spoke for months before this happened. I had written him a message, a long, bitter one, saying I didn't want to hear from him again until he learned to be a brother first. He never got to reply, but I found out later that the day he died, he had started writing back. I never showed this to anyone, she said softly, but this is what he wrote. You're right, Mary, I haven't been the best brother, but please don't think it's because I stopped loving you. I've just been trying to make sense of a world that feels like it's falling apart. I promise when I get back, we'll fix this. Dinner's on me. The timestamp was right before the accident. So I'm guessing that was a text message. And it says, Mary looked out at hundreds of faces watching her. He never got back, but today I believe he kept his promise, not with dinner, but with this letter. She placed Charlie's Bible gently on the casket. He built something far bigger than any of us can see right now, and I know wherever he is, he's still fighting, still protecting us. For years I told people I lost my brother to his mission, but the truth is his mission was what gave him back to me. I spent so long asking why did he have to leave, and now I finally understand. Some people are called not to stay, but to spark something that lasts forever. Charlie didn't die for attention, he lived for conviction. And if you loved him, if he inspired you, then carry that conviction, because that's how his story continues. She smiled through the tears and whispered, I forgive you, Charlie, and thank you for never giving up, even when I did. So that is apparently the words of Charlie Kirk's sister. Can I offer it any real credibility? No, because I don't know what around this entire story and situation that you can offer any credibility. The only thing that I will say is the videos that I mentioned at the first part of this video, I can't see there being any credibility to them, absolutely, almost 100%. So that's why I won't be showing them. If something comes out later, obviously I'll cover them more. I just felt that even just reading it resonates as something you would kind of feel that a sister could write to a brother in that kind of dynamic. I felt that the dynamic could also be accurate, and the message I feel is a good message. Now, what I will do, I said that I would go over these court documents. I will do that in video 2 later on today, because I'm just conscious that this video is now over 13 minutes long, and I know you guys have got better things to do. So join me later as we talk about Huggy Wuggy, and we look at the destruction of evidence. Love you all. Enjoy your Monday. Mwah.